Hello yogi, and welcome to your yoga practice. Today we're going to be focusing a little bit more on the upper body, squeezing in some stretches where we can get them. And we're going to get started in a seated position. If you've got blocks, you may find that it's helpful to bring them along, to place underneath your sits bones and have a bit of an elevated, more relaxed seat here. And as you settle in your space, just find some movement, any natural movements that come to you, any stretches or angles that your body feels it wants to linger in. I've just come back from a wonderful first trip to Kenya, and what I experienced there was something super unique and special. I was on safari, and so I was in the middle of, it felt like nowhere, even though we were in this massive park in Savo West, and just being able to go out on our game drives and observe these animals in their natural habitat and see how intuitive they are, how intelligent and clever they are, and in tune with themselves, their relatives, other species, and nature was just amazing. They are so clever animals, way more clever than us in many ways. And just, there was a peace that you can find there. I definitely recommend you go on safari and you experience this for yourself, because it was inspiring, let's say. So taking that in mind, this sense of natural intuition, the sense of your body and yourself knowing what's right to do, what you need to do, and really listening to ourselves is an aspect of today's practice I'd like to tap into. And in terms of our chakras, this has to do with our Ajna chakra, our third eye chakra, the chakra for wisdom, for intuition, and for this vivid imagination we have, and making sure that it's in a balanced state. So let's get started with some breath. So making sure your shoulders are relaxed and open. Reach them up to your ears, then back and down your spine here. Let's try not to jut our ribs out. So bring our ribs underneath these shoulders, maybe shifting a bit side to side. And then once you feel that your spine is good and tall, you're seated and anchored through the sits bones, go ahead and find soft gaze or close your eyes. Hands are gently resting on your knees, breathing in through your nostrils. Let's let it go on your exhalation. Then continue to take a more conscious breath in and out. Noticing if one side of your body is pulling you more than the other. Maybe one nostril is working harder than the other. For example, when you're ill, you might notice that your nose is all clogged up, or one nostril is actually working much harder than the other. And when we're in this healthy state, let's not take for granted how smooth and easy it is to breathe. So let's indulge in that rhythmic, easy breath. And focus a bit on the space between our eyebrows, just slightly above the bridge of our nose. Can we simply relax the skin there and the skin surrounding on your forehead, around your eyeballs, your eyebrows? Are they frowning? Is there any tension in your temples? Continue that relaxed breath in and out. And let's maybe deepen the breath, finding Ujjayi breathing, or just finding that diaphragmatic full breath, letting the ribs expand on inhalation and knit together naturally on exhalation. Knowing that having a conscious breath, being able to breathe throughout not just a seated position but throughout movement, is super powerful, both for mindset and wellness and everything inside and that's invisible, but also for other things, other sport, other exercise, even just walking in your daily, day-to-day routine. And yoga can help you a lot with that. Let's flutter our eyes open. Cross your fingers, let's stretch the palms up to the sky. Get a nice, almost morning yawn stretch here. Then take it over to one side, up and over to the other. Inhale up to the sky. As you exhale, open arms to cactus and twist to one side. Can you separate these elbows wide? Make sure you have space. Inhale up to the center, looking front. Exhale, cactus. Separate these elbows wide as you twist in the other direction. Inhale up. Once more on each side. Moving with breath. Inhale up. And exhale to the other side. Inhale up and through center. And as you exhale, press your palms forwards as turn your fingers down and pull your fingers towards you. Then turn your fingers up to the sky and pull once again your fingers towards you. And imagine you're pushing the base of your wrists forwards. And now just for a bit of scapular movement, can you really push your palms like you're pushing a wall in front of you? And feel your shoulder blades separate. And then let's retract the shoulder blades so shoulders reach back and shoulder blades reach towards one another like you're doing a shoulder push-up, pushing forwards and retracting. Let's make this a smooth glide for the shoulders. Let's do 2 more. And final one. Wonderful. Relaxing arms by your sides. Give your shoulders a couple circles and remove your block if you've got it. We're going to come and roll onto our backs. Get started with warming up through the core. So feet are down, rolling all the way onto your back. Let's hug those knees in. Give them a little squeeze and rock side to side. Then push your knees above your hips, flex to your feet, and let's have a little bit of energy between the legs. Reach your fingertips up to the sky. Inhale. As you exhale, let's gently stamp and seal the spine onto the ground. So we're already working through the core and getting a little bit of a pelvic tilt here. So like you're tucking your tailbone under. Now let's extend left leg away. It doesn't have to go super low if that's going to lead to your lower back lifting up, okay? Just go as low as you can maintain with integrity. And then lift the left knee up to meet your right and switch on exhale. Inhale up. And we slowly switch. And if we're doing this right, we're already shaking. We're already feeling the intensity of the movements. And now let's see if we can move with our arms as well. Opposite arm's going to reach overhead as you extend the leg. On exhale. Starting to build that strong core, and on top of that, the mind-body connection. Feeling where the muscles are working, what is maybe being compromised if you're trying to maybe cheat or do something beyond what your body is ready to do at this point. And are you breathing with movements? Beautiful. Let's do 2 more on each side. And final one on each side. Wonderful. Hands by your sides. Step your feet to the ground. Heels can be closer to your glutes. Tuck your tailbone under and then glide the rest of your spine up. Your knees are pointing forwards and your glutes are squeezing in this nice bridge pose here. And we're going to lower it all the way down. Hug your knees to your chest once again. Lift your head, lift your chin towards your knees, then hold the backs of your thighs. Let's see if we can roll gently front and back, massaging the spine and coming up into a balanced boat pose, Navasana. So here you're kind of between your sits bone and your tailbone. You're balancing. Your shins are parallel to the earth. Let's roll shoulder blades down the spine. Take a breath. And when ready, reach your arms by your legs. Deep, deep breathing. As we exhale, keep your arms at this distance from one another, but we're going to twist towards the left, through center, and then to the right, through center. Moving with our thoracic spine here. Beautiful. Let's do 2 more on each side. Deep breaths. Wonderful. Stepping feet down. Turn your knees out. So we find Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet touching. Reach your arms up. Stretch tall. And as you exhale, you can hold onto your toes or just the ground. Take a little bow. Relax your neck completely, maybe gently shaking your head no. And then we slowly roll up and we're going to come into tabletop. So sweep your feet behind you, come onto hands and knees, spread out your fingers wide and make sure they're actually beneath your shoulders here. Let's draw some circles over the wrists in one direction. Really feel the weight distribute through the fingers and your palms as you circle. And let's reverse. And you grip into the ground, not just with the base of the wrist pushing down, but the fingers and the fingertips. Wonderful. Before we step front, let's stretch the belly that has been doing so much work. Gazing forwards. Reach your heart between your arms. Exhale, push the ground away. Really go for it. Inhale through center. Now we step left foot to the outside of left hand. Rise to fingertips as you melt hips front and find a bit of movement. Plant right palm down. Let's reach left fingertips to the sky and twist this left leg. As you exhale, dive deep into the ocean in front. You can bend your right elbow to get in deep and find a little bit of a stretch and a twist. Inhale to open up. Exhale to dive. 3 more. Let energy start to reach all the way down to the extremities, so to fingertips, to toes. Last one here. And then plant left hand down. Make sure your left foot is on the inside of your left thumb. And we're going to lift back knee up and stamp the back foot down. Reach your right fingertips to the sky. So we find this side angle already. And reach your right arm across your ear line. Take a deep breath in here and stamp your left palm down. Now, this is the beginning of the class, and we're not really, we have 30-minute classes, so we can't get too deep into anything before getting into other, maybe more advanced poses. But anyways, that's why I say if you've got a block, you could bring it along to place underneath your left hand to help you out since we're right at the start of practice. But basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to lift left foot off the ground and step it to the back of the mat and find our version of side plank we wish to enjoy today. Take a moment here and then reach your right arm across your ear line, push the earth away. And then plant right palm down, move the block away if you've got it, and find yourself in a strong plank position. Making sure these palms are underneath your shoulders. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, let's begin to shift front and back. At your own pace. Lower the knees down. Then bend elbows, lower all the way onto the floor. Rise onto fingertips in line with your shoulders. Elbows reach up to the sky. Point your toes back, and you can separate your toes to about mat's width. As we inhale, push the ground away and peel your head off the ground like a heavy watermelon to find oscillating cobra. Exhale, bend elbows to dip back down. 2 more slowly. Let your spine undulate with the movement. Find that soft gaze so that you can really tune into the other senses, other sensations beyond just sight. Hands beneath shoulders, send hips all the way back to heels. Find a brief balasana, child's pose, really resting forehead to the earth. And as I kind of briefly mentioned at the beginning of class, the Ajna chakra, the third eye chakra, let your attention, your awareness kind of be anchored in that space right now, especially in this child's pose.
As you notice or you observe or you reflect on your own intuition, your own sense of imagination, your trust in your own intuition, and maybe how it's been more recently in your life, how it's helped you, how maybe you've gone overboard, maybe you're too into your imaginations and not connected to reality. So there's a balance to be found here. Let's rise to find tabletop position again, knees beneath shoulders, and step right foot to the outside of your right hand. And then once again, rising onto fingertips and hips front for a little bit of movement. Left palm down, let's open up to the side. And let's begin to dive into the deep ocean. Inhale to open. And as you exhale, let there be a sounding breath like a crash of the wave. 3 more, enjoy. Final one. Inhale, open to the twist. Exhale, right hand comes down, heel toe your right foot so it's in the inside of your right thumb. You could place the block underneath your hand if you've got it. Lift up your back knee and stamp that foot down to prepare for a brief side angle here. Left arm reaches up and overhead, get a bit of length. And then press down through left foot and right palm. Can you lift right foot off? Step it to the back. You could actually cross your ankles here, but I want to find a traditional side plank with big toes touching, maybe a bit of space between the heels. Let's reach over, pushing the ground away. And as you exhale, let's find ourselves in a plank position. Inhale here. See if we can keep your knees lifted. As you exhale, bend your elbows, pointing them back and lower all the way onto your belly. Inhale, pointing toes back. Rise to a high cobra. Exhale, let's meet in downward facing dog. Here we are. Our first one, pedaling through the legs. Get a bit of sensation there. Keep pressing down through fingers and fingertips. And then find a bit of stillness here as you once again close your eyes and find a moment of meditation. Intuition can help us a lot when it comes to decisions we have to make and to following what's best for us when there are changes in our lives, which there are. In fact, in Kenya, I learned a Swahili phrase, and it goes something like, "A new thing is good, though it may be a sore place." A new thing is good, though it may be a sore place. And I love that. I love that for today. I love that to remember when we are starting new things, new adventures, or new chapters of our life. Knowing that we can hopefully rely on our own intuition, our sense of self to drive us to making the best decisions for ourselves. From here, look forwards. Let's lower down to our forearms, keeping these arms shoulders distance. Relax your head, and now we're finding ourselves in dolphin position. Push your elbows and your forearms into the ground as we really start to strengthen the shoulders a little bit more. And as you're in this strong and challenging posture, can you maintain that smooth, rhythmic breath? Step your feet slightly back. We're gonna shift forward so our shoulders are above our elbows, lower down to your pelvis, then pull your heart front. Having a moment, you can turn your palms up.
Shoulders away from the ears here. On exhalation, hips go back to heels for child's pose once again. And rising into tabletop, we're going to step left foot to the outside of the left palm. Send hips forwards. And this time we're going to actually rise up. So torso is going to come over hips. Push your left knee away to help yourself up. Reach your arms up to the sky. Take a big breath here. Strive for a bit more height. And as you exhale, let's cactus these elbows out, reaching them far back behind us. Twice more. This time as you exhale, stick your tongue out and let there be a breath of fire. Once more. Open it up and let it go. Inhale, elbows in line with your shoulders. As you exhale, round through the upper spine. Elbows are going to find one another in front of you. Inhale, open the window. Exhale, round. Inhale, open this time. Open arms, reach them far behind and by your sides. As you exhale, arms reach towards one another in front of you. Backs to the palms, kiss. Inhale, up to the sky. And as you exhale, turn to the left, twisting in this direction. Open through your arms. You could stay like this, or maybe go ahead and tip back to find your back calf. Reaching right arm up and over. Windmill arms front and down. And let's find ourselves in down dog. Stretch these legs out for a moment. And step right foot to the outside of right hand. Back knee comes down. Rise to fingertips for a brief momento. And then push the right knee away to climb up. Arms go up. Take your breath. Exhale, cactus. And let's find that dragon breath. Reach your arms up. You could take it further and find a lion's breath by rolling your eyeballs up and back. Stick your tongue out and let it go. Once more. Inhale, arms go up. Exhale, find this cactus position. Take your preparatory breath. And as you breathe out, cat your upper spine, elbows meet. Inhale to crack it open. Once more. Exhale. Inhale to open. Reach your arms wide and back. Exhale, backs of the palms touch in front. Inhale, arms go up. Exhale, open arms, turn to the right. You could stay, finding a bit of peace and stillness here. Or go ahead and tip back, finding your back calf or heel to hold on to, opening up through the heart. Exhale, let's windmill arms, framing right foot. Let's find ourselves in a downward facing dog once again. And then walk your feet all the way to the top, to the outsides of your hands. Bend through your knees, finding your yogi malasana squat. And we're going to find our way onto our back again. So in your own graceful way, let's roll onto our backs. Step your feet a bit closer into your sits bones. Arms by your sides. Once again, can you find that lovely bridge? So squeezing through the seat. Knees are pointing forwards. Feet are pressing down. Let's not forget that part. And then we're going to stay here. If you'd rather stay in bridge without joining me to wheel, you could explore and play with working your shoulder blades towards one another, your shoulders, and then interlacing fingers, pressing palms towards one another, and then arms into the ground, and seeing if you find any more opening and nice sensation there. Otherwise, joining me in wheel, hands are gonna come on either side of your face. We're gonna set ourselves up to feel confident, send hips and heart to the sky, and glide up, keeping everything open. 3, 4 breaths, wherever you're at. And in your own time, rolling out of it if you're in wheel, tucking your chin in, being gentle with yourself here. We're going to extend left leg. Arms are by your sides. Push against the ground to lift your hips and come onto the outside of your left hip. And then work your shoulders away from your hips as your right knee comes towards your chest and across to the left. Make sure nothing is kind of gripped underneath, and reach arms wide, looking towards the right. And now this knee doesn't have to come down. In fact, if you had bolster or block, you could place it underneath there and focus more on that right shoulder reaching back behind you. Now let's breathe into softness here, closing the eyes once again, and bringing your awareness to the space between those eyebrows. Before we lose ourselves on this side, let's come through center. Right knee comes up, rolling onto your back, and just switch it up. Right leg goes long. Shift onto the outside of the right hip. Work yourself into the twist and use a block or a bolster underneath that left knee if you need. And then focus more on this left arm reaching far behind and towards the earth. No need for any forceful pulling. Let your body ease into it. Make calming breaths enter your body, and calming energy fill your space here. Big breath. Let's come through center. Take any other postures, any movements you wish, whether it be happy baby or anything else, before you find yourselves coming to your corpse pose, your Shavasana. Legs are going to go long, feet as wide as the mat, arms as wide as the mat. Let the feet topple open. Let your shoulder blades rest underneath you, and then go ahead and find heavy eyelids here. Soften through the mouth, the jaw, as you once again let go of control and allow awareness to rest in that Ajna chakra. A space of light, of this deep violet glow. When you are ready, bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a hug, a squeeze. Roll through your side body and come up to find a relaxed seat. Reach arms to the side, up to the sky. Let palms touch in Anjali Mudra and bring your thumbs to graze that Ajna chakra. And as you bow into yourself, keeping this mudra connected to that chakra, I will take a moment to remind you, and just stay here, to remind you to know that you have within you the wisdom to seek clarity through the mud of your thoughts, to have the imagination to visualize and dream, and that you have the intuition to see beyond just the material world and to see all the beautiful, unique, and subtle energies that surround you. And this does exist, I do believe it, because it's a part of our gut instinct. Even the animals in Kenya have it when they can sense danger, when they feel that something's not right. The stuff that's invisible, that's in their gut, and even in their DNA. But it's driving us to have this wisdom and this intuition. Knowing that you have that within yourself, and to keep it balanced so that you can trust always in yourself. Let's bow all the way down to the earth for final stretch and final gesture in thanks towards this universe for holding space for your unique self, and in thanks to yourself in honor of your unique presence and light. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope to see you at our next class.